Hello and welcome to today's Python tutorial for beginners. Today we are going to talk about strings. So strings in Python and other programming languages are simply objects that contain sequences of character data. That is, they're made of characters. And these characters are enclosed in either single quotes or double quotes. So both are possible. These characters can include alphanumerical values or other special characters as long as they are enclosed in quotes. But what if I want to, let's say, use another double quotes here? You see, something is wrong because Python decides that, okay, this is the first, so it means that I'm going to enclose my string with a double quote, and it looks for the ending one and it finds it here, and this becomes my string. And this is something not right because it has an ending as double quotes but no beginning one. So what we do here is we try to escape this character by a backslash, and now it thinks of it as just a double quote, nothing about beginning or ending the string. Another thing we could do is actually using now single quotes here, because we have a double quote inside. Now this also works like that, so this becomes our string. And if I print a, if I can manage to spell it, if I print a, I should get something like this. We can also, as I said, we can also use numbers here. These numbers are strings now, not integers. So if I use just 2 or 25, this is an integer. I can print it, and then I will have 25 here anyways. But there are times that I cannot use integers, and we will see when. That is why we try to turn the integer into a string either this way or we can also use something like a, like str, and we are telling Python to turn this, whatever is inside a, which is 25, turn it into a string and print it for us, and it will print 25 again. Now let's have one example variable here so that we use it later on. So let's say hello world. Now string operators. So if I want to, let's say, have 3 or 4 instances of hello world, I can just multiply them. I can say print and a, which is our string, multiply by, let's say, 4. Now what do you think I will get? So I should get 4 instances of hello world, hello world, hello world, and hello world. But does it also work with plus sign? There must be something wrong, because we can only concatenate, that is combine, a string with a string. Here this has 4 has been added to this, but this is not a number, so we can't say, it's not like 2 plus 4 is 6. If I do 2 plus 4 here, and you should get 6. But this is not a number, so I cannot add it to 4. What we could do is, if we simply say a plus, and we turn it into a string, then it will just add 4 to the end of this string. And let me give it some space here. Let's print this out, and you see hello world 4. So plus sign can be used to concatenate, to combine, let's say, 2 strings together. If I have another variable called b, and let's say it just has an exclamation mark. Now if I say a plus b, what I should get is hello world, and then you can see an exclamation mark at the end. So plus sign is a concatenator. So it concatenates, it combines two strings together. Now, multiline strings. So what if I want to have strings of multi-lines and I want to preserve the formatting? For example, imagine I have a variable C and I want to do something like that, like hello, and then on the next line I want there, and then some spaces, world, and by. Let's say, for example, maybe on another line. But can I print C like that? You can see things are wrong here by even the color. So if I print something, you will see that, yeah, it ended here. So it says that we expect it to end here on this line. What the hell is this? In order to print something exactly as we want it, we need to enclose it into 3 quotes. It could be 3 single quotes or 3 double quotes, as long as you are consistent. Now if I print this, now you see 3 quotes, 3 quotes. Now if I print this one, you should see now we have the formatting exactly as we did it here. So for multi-line strings, to preserve the formatting, we can use 3 quotes, and then we can have the form as it is. But how can we access different characters in a string? Imagine I want to know what the first character in our string is, or the last one. What is that? So for that, I say A, and then square brackets, and I choose a number. And the number should start from 0 because it's the index number, and we have 0, H, 1, which is E, 2, 3, 4, 5, space counts, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if I say A0, and if I print A, well, I should get H, the first one. What if I want to get the last item? Well, if you want to start from the end of a string, you can simply use -1. It gives you the last item, then -2 would give you L, -3 would give you R, so on and so forth. What if I want to have access to the first, let's say, 4 or 5 characters, like for example only these 3 or only these 4? I can start from 0, then colons, let's say 3. What do you think it will get me? Well, let's see, hell. So 0, 1, 2, up to, but not including 3. So remember that. 0, 1, 2. So that is basically, it gives me 3 characters starting from 0, 1, and 2. In this case, because I've started from 0, I can also leave 0 out. And then if I run the program, it still gives me the same hell. I can also start from 1 or start from 2, whatever. Now, what if I want to have something that starts from 3 to the end, but I have no idea how many characters there are? So I just leave it out as is, and then it will start from index 3, and it will print everything onward. So let's see. Now let's say 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So it should give me something like that. And it's taking its time. Come on. And yes, indeed, we have this. So 0, 1, 2, and 3, all the way. Now I have it. Another funny part is to include steps. Let's say I want to have, let's say only the second index as well. That is, I mean 2, then skip another one that is 2, and then after that another one, and then next 2. So I want something like that, including steps. So I would leave it and this means all of them, so from the beginning to the end. I also can add another one, and I put 2 in it. Let's see what it gives me. Starts from the beginning, he, then it skips, next one goes to le, skips, next one goes to o, skips, next one goes to w, you see? So here I put steps here. That means skip, and every 2 characters give me that. So this is for indexing. Now looping through lists. I can also loop through them and print everything out. For example, using a for loop, which is something like for and then for I or x or whatever, for I in a, which is our variable, our string. That is for every character in a, I want to print that character. So let's see what it gives us. HELLO to the end. So this, the way it works is that it goes through it. It says, okay, this is I. What should I do with it? Print it. Next one. Is there another I? Yes, it is. Let's print this. Another one. It goes until it finishes. And this is what happened. Now, checking the existence of characters. So if I want to know that if in a string a letter has been used, a character has been used, I can simply say if, let's say E, like letter E, character E, in, it means exists in A. So if there is a character E in our variable, in this string, I want you to print yes, not Tess. Else print nope. So let's run this. And yes, what if I say J? If J is in A, then print this. If not, print nope. Is there a J in it? Nope. So this works. Imagine you have a text and you want to check if a word exists in it or not. This is the way you use that. Now capitalize. So capitalize, as of course the name suggests, capitalizes the whole string. That is, it turns the first character into an uppercase, a letter. So here you can see it's lowercase h. If I say print a dot capitalize, and if I print this, you should see hello world with a capital H. So this works for checking, if sentences are, do have uppercase in the beginning or not. Another one is count. If I want to know how many times, let's say, exclamation marks have been used in a sentence, or how many times letter O is used in a sentence, I can use count. So the way I use it, let me print a dot count, and I want to check for O, right? So we can see 1, 2 here. So if I print this out, I get an error. Oops. Yeah, and of course my terrible spelling print. So I get 2. There are 2 instead of O. What if I change this one into uppercase O? You see, now it's 1 because I have asked for a lowercase o. Now in these situations sometimes it doesn't matter the uppercase or lowercase for you. So what you can do, you can turn this into a lowercase, and then for example we will learn about this later. So if you do that, for instance, and then you change it and you put it into a variable, let's say b, and here let's say b, and let's see, now we should have 2 because now all of it is in lowercase for us, but we will learn about lower later. Now ends with, imagine you want to check a piece of writing and you want to know if every sentence has been ended with a period. So this is the way you do it. You say print a dot ends with and a dot. So this should give us a true or false value. That is, if it's true or if it's false. And this is false because hello world has not ended with a dot. And if I do that, now it should give us true. So this has ended with period. Now find is of course to find a character there. So let's say we want to print a dot find. I want to find O. I want to know where O is in our string. It would give me an index number of 7. So it means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You see, this is on lowercase o, the index of 7. So it gives me exactly where that character is. And if I want to know the number of index, the same as find, but a little bit of a difference, I will talk about the difference now. And it should give me exactly the same number, 7. It gives me the index number of O. But what is the difference? So let's say that I want to find something that doesn't exist, like K, here and here. So we will have two printed statements here. One is the result of this printing with find, one is the result of this. Now let's see if we have different results. And indeed we have. So when you use find, and if it doesn't find it, it will give you a -1. The outcome will be -1. But if you use index, it will give you an exception, that substring not found. So this is the message you get with index. Let's get rid of these. And now is alpha numerical. So okay, let's bring this one a bit lower, like here. Now if I want to check, imagine you set some password conditions, and if you say only numbers and letters are allowed, no special characters, and you want to check if it's true or false. Now if I print a dot is al num, so if I want to check this and I print this out, I should get a false, because there is something wrong here. Let's print this out again. So it says that A is not alpha numerical. Why? Is it because of this or this? Let's use it again. Yeah, so there must be something wrong here. Let me refresh, because maybe it's still yeah, let's refresh the page. There is something wrong here. Oh, okay. So yeah, the reason is there is space here. That is why it says false. So yeah, if there is a space here, this is not alphanumerical character. So if I just remove the space, something like that, and if I print it again, you would see true. And if I use numbers as well, it says again true. But if I use something like an exclamation mark here, like this, and print it out, you would see it says false now. So you can check if a string that your user enters includes spaces or special characters using this method. Okay, let's separate them again. And with this alpha, it is all about print is alpha is just about alphabetical characters. So this should be again false because there is a space here. And now if I remove the space, it should be true. If I put 2 here, it should give me false now. So this is also the way you use is alpha to check that the input is only letters. Let's use that. And lower, so imagine that I have used let's say capital H, I mean uppercase like L, uppercase O, and that sort of thing, but I want all of it to be in lowercase. So I say print a dot lower, and this should lowercase all of it, and now you see all of it is in lowercase. And if I want to check if it's lower case, indeed, I should say a dot is lower, and it should give me false because it is not all in lower. So then you can ask the user to give you a sentence or a word all in lowercase letters. The opposite is true for uppercase. So you can change all of this into uppercase by saying print a dot upper, and if I print this out, you would see all of this will turn into uppercase letters here. You see, all in uppercase. And again, you can check if a string is all uppercase using is upper, and then it is false because you see not all of them are in uppercase. Another nice and funny actually method is swapcase. So here you can see I have H uppercase, 1 L uppercase, 1 O uppercase. If I use swapcase, it will swap the cases from upper to lower and from lower to upper. So this, which is in uppercase, would turn into a lowercase, and this one, which is in lowercase, would turn into an uppercase. Now let's use that. So let's print a dot swap case, and if I print that out, you would see that, yeah, now we have the other way around. So every letter which used to be lowercase is uppercase now, and the letters which were uppercase are now lowercase. I have no idea where you should use this, but anyways, this is what there is. Now for titles, if you want to turn a, let's say, make a title, and normally in titles of articles, for example, or blogs, every word in a string in that sentence should be uppercase. Well, it should be capitalized, let's say, the first letter in every word. So for example, let's change this into a lowercase, so we have hello and world. Let's use these. Okay, now if this is going to be the title of our blog, so I can say print a.title, and if I print that out, you would see that these two words will have uppercase letters in them. This is processing it, processing it, processing it. And finally, we have hello and world in capital uppercase letters, I mean the first letters. And then of course you can check if this meets these requirements by saying if A is good for a title, which is not in this case, and that is false, because you see lowercase h and lowercase w here. So that is not a good title. We can send a message that, hey, turn these into uppercase, or we can do it using title anyways. Now let me bring this down. Oops. Let's put it here. Now join. Now imagine that you have a list, a Python list. So let's just call it C. And this list has these like hello and world and another one like anything exclamation mark. So this list has 3 items in it: hello, world, and an exclamation mark. If I want to join them and turn them into a string, that is like a sentence, hello world, something like this actually, I want to turn them like that. So how can I do this? So the way I do it is, well, the way Python actually lets me do it, is to join these items using join method. So we should say something like, first of all, we should say how we want to join them. Do we want spaces in between each item? Do we want hyphens or whatever in between them, or underscores, or just some spaces? So I would just want space between each item after I join them. So I would say, and I join. And what is it that I want to join? So I want to join the items in C, right? Cool. Now let's give it a variable. Let's call it V. And now V has these joined together and there is space between each of them. So if I print V, what do I get? Oh, again, another spelling mistake. Stupid. Now, what do I get now? Hello world. Cool. You see now there are spaces between them. And if I change this into, let's say, underscore, what I get is these will be joined together using underscores, like so. You see? So this is how join works. And if there is nothing, then all of them will be together as one word, like so. So this is how join works. Now, replace. Replace is another useful string method in Python. So if I want to, for example, replace exclamation mark with a question mark, or replace O with a B, or whatever, I use replace. So I can say that, let's say x equals now a dot replace, and the first, there can be 2 arguments here. The first is the one that we want to change. Let's say I want to change the exclamation mark. So exclamation mark, let's change it with what? With a question mark, for example. And now if I print x, what do I get? I get a question mark instead of the exclamation mark. Now if I want to change, let's say, I don't know, like H with an uppercase H, or with a J, or whatever letter I think, then I just do that and it goes like so. Cool. Now split. Okay, so we have this as a string. Now if let me delete this list. So if I want to split it in different parts like this and put them in a let's say list, for example, and let's use just one word. So if I want to split them, and then I say, okay, when you split them, I don't know, put like commas between them, or let me, okay, sorry, wait, let's do this again. Yeah, so if I want to split them based on, let's say, spaces, so wherever you go and find spaces somewhere, split it, and then go and find another space and then split it, and put them into different items. So let me just show you how it is actually. So let's say x equals a dot split, and here we say like a space. See, space. Now it should go through the string and find me whenever there is a space. You just take this out, put it in an item. Now let's see. Now you see these are based on spaces. So there was hello, and then there was a space, and then there was world, and then there was a space. So what if I just make them as one? There is no space here. If I run it again, now you will see now it changes. We have two now, world, hello. So if I had comma here and I wanted to change them based on the comma, so I use comma, and now it should give me again the same thing actually, because it's hello, and then there is comma, and then there is world. You see, hello and world, and you can also see the space here, right? Okay, so this is how split works. And now the last one is strip. So strip strips a string of the spaces before the first character and spaces after. Now let's see if I, for example, print a now. So if I just print a like so, you see there is a space here and some space here. So I don't want this to be printed. Maybe I don't. So I just say a dot strip, and if I print this now, it gets rid of those spaces before the first letter character and after the last character. And you see now there are no spaces before and after. Yeah, so this is also how this works. Okay, so now in this tutorial we learned a lot about common Python string methods. I hope you liked it, and yeah, thank you for watching and listening.